Hey guys, this is Amir. I'm from Cars Auto Sales Review, and our purpose in this channel is to review used cars, because basically when the cars are brand new, they're in a good shape. But our goal is to see how does the car perform after 5 or 10 years, and do they still perform as well as before. In here you can see we have Lexus IS250, one of the most common sports sedans that Toyota made, sport compact sedans that Toyota made. This car has one of the rarest V6 engines that Toyota made. Basically, Toyota known for the 3.3 liter and 3.5 liter, but this car is 2.5 liter V6, which the amount of engine, the size of the engine help out with our fuel economy because it's a bit smaller, and it's pretty efficient. It has good amount of power, 204 horsepower and 186 power-feet of torque. And the fuel economy of this car is being rated to 9.5 or 9.7 liters in city, which is pretty good for a 6-cylinder V6 car. And then the highway driving is managed to be 8 liters per 100 kilometers. And I had this car for a week and I got the same number as 2008. So I think this engine and transmission is pretty in a good shape. So we're gonna look under the hood and take a look at the engine and see how the inside.
And it's for 2008, yeah?
Yeah, it's 2008. Surprisingly.
And it's still working, so.
Yeah, but I think the hood doesn't work.
It's normal, I always have this problem too, yeah.
And I take video how. Because I always have trouble with opening the hood, so. And this is Kian, if you guys want to know. He's
hello guys.
My friend. He's pretty helpful. So you see the 2.5 liter engine here, and we're gonna take out the cover. You'll see the direct purge injection engine, which helps to inject the engine smoothly and faster and to be more efficient. And overall, you can see like from the inside the hood that you don't see any rust. You don't see like any like shredded wires or anything. Everything is in good shape. New batteries is on, and it's Costco battery. And
you do the advertisement for Costco too, so.
Oh yeah. And this car uses 5W30 oil, which is usually more old school oils, because I think back then they didn't have the technology to make 0W20. All right, now let's go for a drive and see how this car performs. Oh, actually,
let's see the interior first.
Let's see the interior first. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm too excited. So.
Sorry.
All right. So you see, right off the bat, the driver's side has a lumbar support, has height adjustment.
It's for 2008.
I know
really
it goes back and forward.
weird that they have this kind
And
of.
surprisingly, the driving side, the passenger seat, also has the same feature. You know, like RAV4 2017 XLE model doesn't have that, but this car has. And it's leather seat, and the leather's in pretty good shape.
Yeah, it's still like.
Like I will show you guys the back seat, but like the front is pretty in good shape. Like no cracks or like no squishy as it was before. So I'm about like 6'1", 6'1", and I feel comfortable in the front in the driver's seat. This car is powered by V6 and help of the 6-speed transmission, which is one of the Toyota 6-speed transmission, well known and pretty reliable.
It's not CVT.
Yeah, it's not CVT. That's a huge plus. Obviously, no one gonna put CVT in a sport car. So, and I will show you guys how it does. It shifts pretty smoothly, and you could say maybe a bit slowly because it's a 6-speed. It's not like one of those 4 or 5-speed transmission that right away it comes on. And as you can come further, we have it's pretty like the dual modules. Like it's pretty easy to reach. I don't have to like bend my hand to touch it.
Yeah.
Like the hard touch plastic is a good plastic. Like it's not like one of those newer Toyotas that you can hear.
They made this in Japan. It's not one of those.
Oh yeah, and one of this
Canadian Toyota.
And the paddle shifters are metal, so it's not like plasticky like some of the Hyundais or Kia or Mazdas that they put like plastic shifters, and the passenger side, the passenger seat, the passenger door has automatic windshield.
Okay.
And usually, like, you don't see that in like a RAV4, like 2017 RAV4 doesn't have that. It's only the driver's side that is electric.
Yeah.
But the passenger side is pretty electric, and let's go see that at the back.
I think the back's actually shouldn't be good.
Well, it's a compact sedan, so I'm not expecting it to have.
Oh my goodness, you cannot even sit there.
So this is behind myself.
But you're not normal, I mean.
Okay, well, my legroom is pretty cramped here.
Yeah.
But I have a good amount
What
of
about your
headroom.
head?
My headroom is nice.
Your headroom is good?
Shoulder room is nice. It's
But just test it in another way too, because this one is, you know, it's not in a normal shape. Yeah.
Oh, actually, in the rear side it has automatic windshield.
Of course.
I didn't saw
Lexus, come on.
Well, I mean, like Toyota cars, like you don't see that in a Avalon or in a Camry. It's always the front. The driver always get the good stuff.
In the past, they used to produce some good cars.
They do actually. Yeah. That's unfortunate how they decrease. Okay, so let's try now. Probably the same thing.
It's not too good.
Still my legroom is
Yeah.
pretty cramped, but I have good amount of headroom, and this is a sport compact sedan,
Yeah.
so you shouldn't expect. I mean, like, how much legroom does Mazda 3 has? Like, really? And also, but this car is not comparable to Mazda 3. It's really
Yeah.
better. And the door, pretty solid sounding. After like 2008, after 13 years.
Yeah. Almost.
So let's check out the hood.
Okay.
It has 17.7 cubic feet of space.
Okay.
When you fold the seats down, it will be about 52.3 cubic space, which is, for a compact sedan, is actually not bad. It's better than the legroom, so it's pretty nice. So as I told you guys, it has 17.7 cubic feet of space. Now we put like quite big stuff, like lots of stuffs in here, like toilet paper. I think you can mount, like, you can fit maybe like 11 toilet paper in here.
It's from Supras, or you can do advertisement for them too.
Sure, yeah, they're our sponsor.
You already did it for Costco,
And
so.
if you come in front, you can see it's not deep, but
Yeah.
it has like good amount of space. Like, for a sport car, it's pretty good. Like, I'm impressed by the amount of space that they put at the back, and you also have like this little handle here.
Yeah.
If you kidnap someone or put someone in here, they can
Huh.
press this and like
Okay.
make the. So let's go for a drive and see how this car.
Let's do the test drive.
So let's just start with driving impression, and I'm excited to see. I had this car for a week, and I'm excited to share it with you guys that how well it is after from 2008. Let's just start up the engine and see if it starts up smoothly and if it has any weird noise or not. And you notice when you put your foot on the brake pedal, this thing turns on, which means you have to start the vehicle. No weird noise or anything. It doesn't have a backup camera, but in some models, some people put like aftermarket backup camera.
And this one doesn't have sunroof too, so.
Yeah, it doesn't have moonroof.
It's weird. It has leather inside, but no sunroof.
Yeah, well, I guess, like, it's Toyota. I mean, as far as they done this, they done a lot. So they decide, like, okay, we need to take a break.
Okay.
So first we're gonna go set up. It's a bit like a trail road. We're gonna test out the suspension and the cabin noise, and to see, since 2008, is this car still smooth and quiet or no? Does it make some weird noises? So setting up on this car, pretty smooth. The gas pedal is pretty touchy. As soon as you put your foot like a little bit on the gas pedal, it just moves. We're on the speed bump and it's pretty smooth.
It's not like a sport car. It's a smoother, actually.
No, yeah, like in some of the BMWs, you see it's a bit like, although this car has the real suspension is multi-lane suspension and the front is double wishbone suspension, which help with the ride quality. So that's the trail road ahead and has a bit bumps. Let's see if does it make any weird noise or if it's loud inside.
Nice.
Nice. Not any veer, and I can go a bit faster. Not any weird noise. No bearing noise. And I'm not feeling anything. Although I can tell that we're in a bump, but it's not like super bad. It's not like some of those Mazdas that like you can feel the metal like going up and down. So let's talk about the driving dynamics of this vehicle. This vehicle is being paired up with a 6-speed transmission, which is pretty smooth transmission, and it's one of the most reliable transmission that Toyota ever made. I mean, they also made the 8-speed transmission, but it seems like they run to some of issues with the 8-speed transmission, because like some of the Corollas in Canada and BC, it has like over 20,000 units recall, and that's a pretty big number for a manufacturer like Toyota that has this amount of recall.
And I mean, for how long they use this engine?
So since 2013, which the IS350 came in,
yeah,
and also they changed this vehicle to IS200 rather than 250.
Okay.
For some reason, they didn't continue this engine, and they continue with the 3.3 liter, and then they went up to 3.5 liter. But honestly, I'm surprised. This 2.5 liter engine is pretty smooth.
In the 6 cylinders.
Yeah, in the 6
In terms of the
cylinder.
reliability, I didn't see any complaint.
And I asked the owner of this car, and like, didn't had any leak, didn't had any problem. It was just, they just did like the regular services, the regular maintenance on this vehicle. And this car, and we're reviewing used cars, and further on in our channel we will put a video about how to test out the used car to see if it's good or not. And I will do that like in a couple days. But when you want to buy a used car, always look out for the common problems. So in this car, I didn't find any common problems. Although I mean, Toyota's has like a bit problem with their brakes, the brake pedal, like somehow the master cylinders.
But I didn't realize any with this one. This one,
yeah, there wasn't.
I don't know, for some reason I think Lexus is better than Toyota Camry and Corolla in terms of brakes.
It's a similar engine that's on Camry, so I don't know about that. But yeah, I mean, somehow this is like the luxury top of the line Toyota car, the car that Toyota makes. And personally, one of the biggest cons I have in this car, and it's a compact sedan, so I shouldn't really expect much, but the visibility of this car, the visibility is a bit cramped. Like the side mirror is giving me like good views, but the side panels over here kind of like blocking my view when I want to do like shoulder check, or when I'm in a stop sign, when I want to make the left turn. And I mean, that's why people go and buy some SUVs, but this is just a bit bug for me, like the visibility. Overall, it's pretty smooth. And
I think the most important thing that everyone that see this video wants to know, in terms of the reliability, do you suggest this car to others or no?
Oh yeah, I will suggest this car. I mean, if you see one of these IS250s in a good shape, just buy it. I mean, lots of people, lots of teenagers like me and like you, they're all going for Honda Civic because somehow for a car under $100,000 Canada dollars, Honda Civic is a pretty good car, and I'm not sure if it's a good car.
Doesn't have enough power.
But it's like it's kind of sporty. Although I think, in my opinion, Mazda 3 has better handling than Honda Civic.
In some years they are not good. For example, 2010 one, it wasn't good even.
The Civic?
The Honda Civic in 2010, we had some recalls from them too. You know, I don't know why people believe that, for example, Honda Civic is the best or Toyota Camry is the best. You really need to look at many things when you want to purchase a car.
What? I think it's like the name brand. I mean, lots of people like don't expect Toyotas to be recalled. Like you see, like Mitsubishi's made some pretty good cars, but because of like maybe the experience that they had, the customers had before, they're kind of like a bit like disappointed. They were a bit disappointed with the old generation Mitsubishi, but the new one is pretty smooth and it's pretty nice. And we also reviewed that. We will post it soon.
Yeah. But for people who wants to buy a used car, me and Amir, both of us, really suggest this car. In terms of the reliability, is really good. It has enough power for people who wants a speed, and on top of everything, you have to keep in mind that it's a Japanese car. It's a real Japanese car. It's not one of those guys that they assemble it in Mexico or Canada. And this one is for sale too. The price of this car on the market right now with 230,000 kilometers is around $8,000, $9,000. This one has 113,000 kilometers, which is so good for 2008 car. And the price for this one is going to be around $13,000. I'm gonna put a link for this car. If you guys are interested, you can easily talk with one of our sales agents, and we will make it happen for you. And in terms of the reliability, is a really good car. I didn't see any serious complaint about it, but for sure it has some problem. One of the common problem that I see is a heater. I don't know why.
Well, I mean, it's a V6, so usually 4-cylinders cars, the heater system, because it's a smaller engine, and like the tubes are a bit smaller, it gets warm up pretty quickly. No. V6 always have trouble with getting warm up.
Yeah, it takes time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
But I mean, it's not bad for what you're getting.
Of course,
like luxury material, luxury handling vehicle.
Even I like this one more than brand new Honda Civic or brand new Toyota Camry. I feel more comfortable in this one. I don't hear any weird sound or something like that. If you see any of this car with a low kilometers, just go for it. Don't even think about it.
Yeah, like rather than getting like a Honda Civic or tuning it.
Yes.
I think this is the best version.
This one is the only 113,000 kilometer one that I see on the market right now. There is nothing like this right now on the market. And you should be careful that you need to use premium gas for this car.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, I did some research about that. It should be at least a 91 octane.
Oh, maybe I get the Honda Civic instead.
You should keep in mind this too. Many people just use regular gas for this car and they don't have any issue, to be honest. But what I see on the booklet, this car required premium gas.
And do you use premium gas for this car, or does the owner use the premium?
Yeah, so she always used the premium gas because she really cares about the car, her car. But you know, many people just don't use premium gas for this car, and they don't have any issue with this car too.
Yeah. So I want to talk a bit about the driving, and as I told before, it has double wishbone suspension. So setting up on the car is pretty smooth, and usually on smooth cars on the corner they're feeling a bit like rolling, like you're feeling like you're rolling over, like we're like side to side. But in this car, when I'm taking corners, like right now, I'm in my seat and I'm safe. I'm not moving around, and I'm quite impressed by the handling of this vehicle. Although the brakes feel a bit spongy for a sport car, I feel like the brakes needed to be maybe like Lexus or Toyota. Maybe they should tune the brakes a bit like harder.
Yeah.
So
when all the Toyota are like that.
Yeah, I know. And that's kind of, I mean, it's not a huge bug for me, but if you're like a sport guy, or like if you're a guy that like car enthusiast, maybe you'd be a bit disappointed with the braking system, because I put my foot on the brake, I don't see any action. When I just like push it down a bit like further, it just like whole car brakes, and I think that's a bit like disappointing. What do you think about it?
Yeah, of course, I'm totally can understand, but you know, I saw the brakes of Camry, Corolla, and when I compared them to this one isn't good. Yeah. But still, Toyota is weak in brakes.
If you want to compare this like to some of like the BMWs, their brakes is like pretty. I mean, they made
even
for
Kia,
a car.
even Korean car, they're better in terms of brakes. But yeah, overall, that's a good value car.
Yeah, and you see here some like power mode, snow mode, which we're in the city, we're not going to use any of those modes. But in snow mode, it's pretty. Usually the snow mode, what it does, it just put this car in a lower gear, and that's what it does for like all the vehicles. Like in the snow, like you don't want too many traction. You want to control traction because you want to be able to stop. So in snow mode, it just like it's always like downshifting, and always like brings the gear ratio down. And the material inside, like the steering wheel, I think maybe like on some sunny days it could feel a bit like slippery, because right now my hands is a bit sweaty. I'm kind of like feeling a bit slippery. So I think maybe like on a summer day, maybe you put like something around it instead.
Yeah, but see, from 2008 until now, there's nothing. There's no damage.
There's like no scratch. Like even the plastics usually.
You can see the quality, the main meaning of quality, and even if you compare it to brand new cars right now, a bunch of them they have some low quality material.
Yeah. And as I told a shift about the transmission, you see now it's shifting pretty smoothly, but it's pretty slow. Like I have to like get past by 2000 RPM to get the sweet power of the V6, because this transmission doesn't deliver it to me when I want it. And right now we're gonna go attack some corners and we'll see how this car handles. So we're almost entering. Okay, so this is the corners that I was talking about. Yeah, you see, like it doesn't. I'm stable in the car. Everything is stable. We're not like flying around. Like if I want to take this corner in the Corolla, it will like put me like out of my seat, but it's pretty smooth. And let's go shifting a little bit. Yeah, so when you want to go to first gear, it doesn't allow you. It's like, it's pretty smart. So what do you think about the shifting?
For someone like me, I'm a normal user. I didn't have any problem with the transmission of this car. I saw some really bad cars on the market right now. For example, Nissan.
Yeah.
Use Nissan. I don't like them.
Jatco.
Yeah. But, you know, for sure there is some better transmission out there. That they are faster and smoother.
I mean, it's automatic car. Nobody in automatic car, they manually shift. But it's not like one of those dual clutch transmission that ZF.
It's mid-range. It's not so good, it's not so bad.
But it doesn't allow me to downshift. When I want to downshift, it just does its own thing. Which is, maybe for a sport car, could be a bit disappointing. But, I mean, I wouldn't mind. For what I'm getting, for material quality, for the power I'm getting, I mean, I should be thankful. So I don't really mind the 6-speed.
So for this car, I think this car is really good for people that wants everything together. You want some car that is good for family members, but still you have some sporty features for yourself. It can support you in any ways, so you don't have to be worried about I don't have enough space for traveling, or you know, it's good. It's average car, but you still have enough power to have some fun if you like.
I mean, every car is made for
some
specific
reason.
uses. So this is not like a minivan. It's not like Toyota Sienna. They're gonna say, oh, I'm gonna like go for the family trip with this car.
This is something between them, something between the sport and being family car.
For the engine, it takes a bit time to get warm up, but once they get warm up, it's pretty nice. Like the heater is right now, it's like
it's so nice.
Me, like sweaty right now. and that could be maybe because it's 6-cylinder V6. Always the V6 vehicle always have trouble with their with getting warm.
And for the financing part, guys, so for these type of cars, this is 2008 cars with 113,000 kilometers. So to be honest with you, is it possible? It is possible to do the financing stuff for this car. I think there is one lenders that they are going to accept this type of car, but no one is going to. You know, it doesn't make sense to finance some cars like this because it's too old. The interest rate is going to be too high, and usually people that wants to buy 2008 car, they prefer to buy it cash to save some interest rate. But
and
we are able to do the financing stuff for all of you that if you guys are interested. But just keep in mind that this car is a really good car for people that wants to buy the car cash and they don't want to waste money for interest rate and all those stuffs. In another video, I'm going to explain everything about the benefit of financing and what kind of good things is going to happen to you if you do the financing instead of buying cash. But for now, for this car, I don't really suggest do financing or something like that. It's better to buy it cash, enjoy it, and for sure this car is going to be a really good car for the next 3-4 years, because you can at least go for 300,000 kilometers with this car with no problem if you change the oil properly, put the good quality oil, and take care of it.
And put the type of oil that is needed.
Yeah.
So like 5W30, like don't put like 020,
Yeah.
0W20 on these vehicles, because that could really mess up the engine. And also, one thing I was gonna mention was about the handling of this car. This car has like 70-inch wheels, and it has low profile tires. So what that means, like the width is pretty like thin, like pretty narrow, but it's pretty wide. So the low profile tire didn't really, usually they have like firm ride quality, they feel a bit bumpier, but in this car I didn't got the feeling. I didn't got like the fair riding feeling, but instead I got the good feeling of handling. And as you guys see earlier, when I was cornering, this car was pretty stable. And even like maybe like on some like icy situation, I wouldn't corner like that hard, but I will corner with this vehicle and I will feel secure, because I know the tire design that they did for this car is gonna save up my butt through snow or maybe through extreme situations. So what do you think about handling, about what I did earlier?
For handling of this car, I think it's pretty good. To be honest with you, I think it's pretty good. It's okay. It's much smoother than most of the sport car that they see, because you know that the sport car, they are not going to be super smooth. You are going to feel all the weird sound from the street, but for this one it's not like regular sport car. It's much smoother.
Yeah, that's, and I think maybe because it has that Toyota characteristic in it.
Exactly.
That's the smooth. Like if this was maybe something like some of the Acuras, they were rear wheel drive. This car is front wheel drive. So maybe like another benefit of front wheel drive, it's a bit like easier to control. And if you're like me, maybe you're like a beginner driver, I think it's a pretty nice car, like, because it has a good amount of power, and sometimes if you drive like a maniac, then it will be hard for you to control this vehicle. But it's front wheel drive, and I'm quite impressed. And in some models further on, Toyota delivered, or Lexus delivered, all-wheel drive, which even makes this car handles way better. But in this generation, in 2008, between 2008 and 2010, was all front-wheel drive. And maybe some models were available.
I saw some,
rear-wheel drive.
But they are too old. It's 220,000 kilometers. Doesn't make sense for anyone.
We will make a video about the benefits and disadvantage of front-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive. But for me, it's a big plus. And I was thinking to get like maybe like, because I drove a Mazda 5, and that's pretty easy to drive around.
So Amir, from 1 to 10, what is your score to this car? I'm going to tell my score after you too.
I'm going to give this car 8.5.
8.5.
And I have a reason why.
Yeah.
So as I told before, visibility is kind of big for me.
Yeah.
It's a huge thing for me. I mean, that's why I like my personal favorite cars are SUV. Like this side pillow here, like I don't see why it should be so thick.
Yeah.
Like it should be like a bit thinner, like to give me more visibility, or like maybe like right now it's not raining or anything, or probably I think in rain you might have some issues with visibility. Also, like that little window at the back, it's like how do I say it? It's kind of like downward, like it doesn't give me like good view at the back when I want to park. When I want to go to reverse, I have trouble viewing at the back. So I mean, most of the cons for me is about visibility. It's not about powertrain, or it's not about the car suspension system. And the other reason why I gave it, maybe I reduced, because I give 2.5. So one of them was the visibility.
Yeah.
The other one is the brakes. Like if this was maybe like a regular car, I wouldn't mind, but this is a sport car and this is V6, and for the amount of power that it has, the braking are a bit like disappointing. Like, I don't know why. Like, we're almost near the stop sign, and you see here, like, I'm almost putting my foot all the way to the floor to make this car stop. And when I do that, like, maybe I'm regular driving, it just like right away, so like I don't get used to the brakes. And maybe the 0.5 reason is just for nothing really. Just, so what do you think? What would
No,
you
it's
give?
okay. For this one, I'm pretty much think same like you, but I'm gonna get 8.5 for 113,000 kilometer. One of this car. If you see one of this car for 230,000 kilometer, I'm not going to buy it, to be honest with you guys. Because
this is real.
no, it's too old. I know it's reliable, but usually when you see after 250,000 kilometer, 300,000 kilometer, the headache is going to start.
Yeah.
So if you want to buy some cars like this, try to find something around 110 to 130, 40,000 kilometers.
It's pretty rare, but
yeah, that's pretty rare, but we have one. See,
yeah,
we found
have
one.
So maybe that's a sweet opportunity.
Yeah. It's a really good car. If you guys want to know more about it, do a test drive or do anything like that, you can easily go to our Instagram page and talk with one of our sales agents, and we will be more than happy to make it happen for you.
And what's the name of the Instagram page?
So it's Car Auto Sales. I'm gonna put the link on the description so everyone can see it. And yeah, it was this a Lexus IS 250 2008, really good, comfortable car with a really good value, and I liked it, to be honest with you.
It has like a pretty smooth engine. Now, just the last thing, because we always doing this.
Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna always do this. Is turning radius. I'm gonna turn this vehicle, and I want to see how's the turning radius. It should be. I'm expecting it to be pretty well.
It's not going to be good like German cars for sure, but it's going to be good.
I mean, some of the newer cars, the back wheel is also spinning as you turn the steering wheel.
I think Japanese cars are always weak in turning.
Well, we're gonna find out.
Comparison with German
if you can
car.
show them maybe outside to see.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's not really wide, so.
I'll just wait until everyone go.
Okay. So. Okay. Not bad.
Feels good?
Yeah. Yeah, pretty good. I mean, not like a wow, but yeah, it was good. Although like the steering wheel was like all the way.
In comparison with Japanese and Korean car, it has something to say. But for German cars, they're always the best.
Well, keep in mind that in reliability, it also has something to say to German cars.
Yeah, but German car doesn't have anything to say about reliability.
Yeah. But they're pretty, like the driving feel that you get from like something like C350.
Yeah.
If I'm right, C350.
Yeah.
It's pretty like smooth and it just like puts you back in your seat.
Yeah.
Although I'm just gonna do like maybe a little acceleration run here. Yeah, it puts you back in your seat.
Yeah. It has enough power for sure.
It does. I think it's powerful. Like highway passing, it's awesome. So guys, we're at the end of our review and I hope you enjoyed it. Support our channel. This is our first video. And tell us your comments or maybe your compliments. And we'll be happy to like improve ourselves and tell us what we missed. Maybe there was some information that we missed on this car. So we will be happy to know.
Thank you.
See you in the next video.
Bye bye.